Welcome back into Main Event Sports Live here. 1201 South 1st Street is going down. Rashawn, Haven, we got our man Wayne sitting in for another segment. It's going down here live. We get the pizza's almost gone, so y'all better come down, get the pizza. We got plenty of wings in the back. I don't know, Haven's trying to steal all the dry rub and take it home with him. I looked in his trunk, and he's got a couple bushels of dry rub wings back here.
Bushels.
Bushels.
It is tasty. My man over here, Wayne, about to drink all the beer here. So, hey, come on down, hang out with us. We're having a great time. And speaking of great time, starting tomorrow, the University of Louisville's football team kicks off spring practice.
Can you believe it's that time of year already, Haven?
I know. It's just like, I'm so excited. You know, I'm a football guy, and I'm excited to see this new little Cardinal team. Got Jawan Paz.
Puma.
At the quarterback spot.
Puma.
You got a brand new defensive coordinator, so you have no idea what the defense is going to look like. The defense loses its top 3 starters at every level. You lose your number 1 defensive lineman, you lose your number 1 linebacker, and you lose your number 1 cornerback. So it's going to be interesting to see, how those slots are filled. A lot of young guys that were recruits are going to get plugged right in and get instant playing time. It's going to be kind of a new look Cardinal system. So I'm kind of interested to see what's going to happen now. We've heard rumors that the offense is going to change a little bit to kind of fit what Jawan Paz does. So I'm kind of interested to see exactly what that's going to look like. Probably I'm imagining more passing, less running from the quarterback, more called running back runs would be my guess. Kind of similar to what you saw with Louisville with 2004 when they had Stephon LaFleur's here at quarterback. I expect to see something of that nature. Now, not to that level. Don't get twisted. Not to that level. Plays like that, but I don't think the offense is going to be clicking at the 2004 level because that is the greatest Louisville football team of all time.
Yeah, no doubt. But I do think it's going to be similar to that. I think that because Jawan Paz is definitely much more of an accomplished pocket passer, that's where he's comfortable. He's comfortable sitting in the pocket. He's really tall, can see over the offensive line and pretty much make all the throws. He throws the ball with a lot of touch. So I would expect that, Coach Bobby Petrino, this is what he does. He fits the personnel and works his offense around the personnel that he has. Colin Wilson, the super talented 4-star running back, had some injury issues last year. He's still a little bit dinged up, but I did think it was interesting that Bobby Petrino said he will go through spring practice and try to get those reps in. We're also going to see them try to take up and find a way to replace Jared Christian, made his way to the NFL draft. So they got to be able to find that left tackle. Are they just going to move little baby blindside over to the left tackle spot? That would be my guess. We've heard Cole Bentley may start to work some in at center. So we're going to have to see how that works. But, of course, I think Robbie Bell did pretty good with that last year.
He did an excellent job last year.
We're going to find out and see what works best in terms of that. But it's going to be very interesting because there's going to be a lot of position battles. Tutu Atwell, is a guy who's getting a lot of hype. Tutu was down there at Miami Northwestern, won a state championship. One of the more talented playmakers in the state of Florida. It'll be exciting to see what he can bring to the Louisville offense.
It's going to be exciting. For those who don't know, Miami Northwestern is a powerhouse. That high school alone powered Louisville's Sugar Bowl victory over Florida because that's where you got Teddy Bridgewater. We got like 4 or 5 kids out of that one high school. Teddy, Eli Rogers, the other receiver that always stayed hurt, Michael Lee Harris. Michael Lee Harris came out of high school. I mean, that high school produces so much talent. And for a guy to win anything in Florida football, if you go into a state championship in Florida,
he won 6A
you're balling.
6A state championship.
You're balling.
The quarterback of the 6A state championship team, and he was considered, the most dynamic playmaker. Playing at that level. The last guy who we heard was the most dynamic playmaker at his level at 5A, it was Lamar Jackson. So
and this is 6A.
This is 6A.
So, I mean, it's just crazy. I mean, this team has a lot of talent. Bobby Petrino did an excellent job on the recruiting trail. There are about 8 or 9 guys that came in early, so they're going to go through the spring workouts and spring practice, so we should see them as well. But this team is going to have a lot of question marks that we're going to have to wait to be answered, most likely in the fall. The spring game will tell us a lot, and it'll tell us how good Jawan Pass has progressed as a quarterback. He played sometime last year with those spots here and there. He looked pretty good. He looked pretty good during the spring game last year when they called plays for him, the correct plays. Now, Bobby kind of got mad the first half because he didn't think they were calling the plays to put Jawan Pass that actually played his ability. And once Bobby took over his play calling abilities in the second half, Jawan was unstoppable.
Well,
so it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out this year.
Well, I can tell you one good place to start. Four names: Jalen Smith, Seth Dawkins, Dez Fitzpatrick, and Kamari Avery. Those 4 guys right there, those are all conference type of players. Okay, I know Kamari Avery's a guy who, was a freshman, kind of in and out of the lineup, but with his size, 6'8", 265, 270 pounds,
tight
what
end,
he
huge.
Is from a physical specimen at the tight end spot.
He can block and catch.
Absolutely.
That's a perfect tight end. Now, Louisville has wide receivers.
Yes.
I think Louisville has a pretty good stable of running backs if they can stay healthy.
Yes.
Dave Williams, Colin Wilson, those guys, if they can stay healthy, yes. I think even on the offensive line, I think Louisville should be okay.
Yes, they had a big-time O-line recruiting class last year.
Yes.
And a lot of those guys red-shirted.
Those guys red-shirted, and we had Mike Summers back as offensive line coach, who I think is one of the top 3 offensive line coaches in the country. So you had him. I think the offense is going to be okay. The question marks is going to be defense, and exactly what are we going to see on defense. And honestly, we really don't know what we're going to see on defense because they got a lot of pieces of puzzle that they have to replace. And a lot of those guys, like I said before, were your number 1 defensive lineman, your number 1 linebacker, and your number 1 quarterback all went to the draft. So now you got to figure out who you're going to put in that spot. Who can take over?
Yeah, I mean, you lose your 3 top defensive linemen. You lose Stacey Thomas, a guy who's been a hitter, for a lot of years, starting out and made his name on special teams, and then the last 2 years making plays, as a regular rotation guy and a starter, doing big things this past year. Louisville lost a lot. Louisville lost some guys in the secondary as well. You lost maybe the number 1 cornerback taken in this year's NFL draft in Jair
And
Alexander.
You saw what happened to defense last year when Jair goes out. Jair went out last year, and these guys just disappeared completely. Now, I think a lot of that had to do with coaching.
Yeah.
So maybe the new defensive coordinator, things that hopefully will improve on that front. Louisville hopefully will get more aggressive on defense.
Yeah.
You start to see more blitzes, more stunts, things of that nature that we did not see last year. Hopefully we'll see those things this year, better adjustments that we did not see last year. Hopefully we'll see that this year.
Well, I mean, you got Brian Van Gorder who comes in. Some people like him. A lot of people have questions about him. He did not have the greatest stint, with Notre Dame.
He was only with Notre Dame like 1 or 2 years.
2 years, and 1 year he was really good, and then the other year
he was really
terrible.
bad. Yeah, but when he was at Atlanta Falcons defensive coordinator, they fielded a pretty good defense.
Yeah.
When he was Georgia's defensive coordinator, they had an outstanding defense.
Yes.
One of the best defense in the country. Once again, that's Georgia with top-tier talent. More talent than you're going to have here at the University of Louisville. But he can recruit. He's coached at the NFL level. He's coached at the highest levels of college football. Outside of that 1 bad year at Notre Dame, his coaching resume has actually been pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, and when you look at it, you're going from, one of the least experienced defensive coordinators, a guy in Peter Sherman who was just basically trying to figure out how to walk, to Brian Van Gorder, who's one of the most experienced guys anywhere. So, I'll definitely take that experience because he has had success, okay? And there's always question marks about how much talent it is. You have to have the talent. You got to have the Jimmies and the Joes, a lot more than the X's and O's, especially at the highest level. So there is a question of how much is it Van Gorder, how much is it the players and the talent. Jalen Smith, the super talented young man, plays for the Dallas Cowboys. Van Gorder tuteled him. Okay, so he has produced some talent, but didn't always get the results that he wanted. But we'll have to wait and see.
It's going to be a big question mark.
But, it's going to be, for Louisville, it's going to be the question mark of the talent. I know that you have Russ Yeast back. You have a lot of very dynamic defensive backs. You had a couple of guys, P.J. Monsabur, the transfer from Oklahoma, sitting out. You also have the young man from Ohio State, Louisville Trinity product, sitting out as well.
Rajay?
Rajay Burns. He's going to be available. So you have talent in the secondary. The linebacker core, you're going to have some guys that were highly recruited that it's time for them to step up, because there's been a lot of players that have a lot of stars behind their name that haven't really done much. And is that just because the guys playing in front of them were just that good? Or are these guys kind of, disappointment? So we'll have to wait and see with that. But I think the most important spot, I think they'll be fine at linebacker. I think they'll be fine at secondary, is that defensive line. Travion Young.
And that's the most important spot
Absolutely.
On a defense. If you can win or just be competitive on defensive line, it makes everything else easier.
Yeah.
And that's what worries me, because last year, when they lost a couple of guys on defensive line, guys that we expected to do big things from, Gigi Robinson and some other guys, did not quite live up to the hype. And our defensive line got pushed around a lot last year, especially in that bowl game against Mississippi State. They completely and utterly controlled our defensive line.
Yeah.
Control the defensive line.
Yeah,
Clemson, you kind of expect Clemson to do it,
yeah,
but you don't expect Mississippi State to control your defensive line.
Yeah, it was utter dominance, and I think that's going to be where they have to step up. It's going to have to be on the defensive front. I think that Louisville will be pretty good on the offensive line, but the hope is that the defense – you don't have to have a great defense. This is what we talked about with Peter Sherman, is that Louisville wasn't asking for Peter Sherman to come in and hold teams under 21 points, hold them to, 17, 14 points. Louisville was asked to hold them 21 to 24. Okay? That means you're giving up an average of 3 touchdowns a game. Okay? Not needing shutouts, because you would expect that a Bobby Petrino offense is going to be able to put up at least 28 points on anybody.
At least.
Okay? So, that's going to be the thing. Is Van Gorder is not being asked to come in here and make miracles, but a lot of times that Sermon coach defense just looked completely clueless out there, and that's what you don't want to see. Mississippi State had a quarterback who had basically played very, very few snaps all year long.
He played 3 snaps all year long. He was. Okay. Let's be honest. No, let's be honest. There's no way in the world Mississippi State should have beat us in that bowl game.
With backups. You had your coach, your defensive coordinator gone.
Defensive coordinator
your
gone.
Head coach gone. Dan Mullen was already in Florida working on his stand.
You had a quarterback that pretty much never played the position until that game.
Ron English looked like Ron English from 2006.
This guy came out and ran all over our defense.
Yeah.
Ran and threw all over our defense and secondary, which was just unexcusable. Unexcusable. I can't even say how upset I was at that game. There's no way in the world the running back coach and your safety head coach, Ron English, should be able to put a game plan together to beat a Bobby Petrino coach team after having a month to prepare. Inexcusable.
No, I agree with you. And that's
inexcusable.
That's going to be the biggest question mark, is can the defense come in and just have a pulse? I'm not asking for them to be great. I'm just asking for them to be average. If they come in and be average.
That's it. All you got to do is just be average.
Average. Hey, how about this? Get a stop on 3rd down every once in a while. People talk about 3rd and Grantham, but like I said, it was like 1st and 2nd down in Sermon.
Man,
they didn't even get the 3rd down most times because they were scoring, getting chunk plays the first 2 downs, first 2 steps. How many times did Louisville even get a team to a 3rd down?
That Boston College game was just so heartbreaking. At the end of the game, they ran it like 6 straight times. And not only did they run it 6 straight times on us, they ran the same play 6 straight times. The same play. Everybody in the press box was like, they're going to do X, Y, and Z. And then they did it again. Hey, that's the same formation. On the last play, 5 yards. That's the same formation, 7 yards. That's the same formation, 8 yards. That's the same formation, touchdown. No.
Pretty much.
You can't have that. So hopefully Van Gorder can come in there, bring some discipline to the defense, make the defense stiffer, tougher. Hopefully we can get more aggressive. Hopefully the young guys, we can put the young guys in, and they can be the playmakers that we hope them to be. Now, the first game, I'm going to give Louisville a pass on.
Yeah, you think?
I'm going to give a little pass on the first game. I'm not sure how much we're going to learn about Louisville for having them play Alabama.
The national champions and the Hawaiian assassin.
If Tua starts, which he will.
Oh, come on now, if.
I know, right?
I mean, what's his name? When Jalen Hurts has already cut his hair off, he's probably working on running routes at this point.
The guy started going back to class. So I'm going to need a degree.
He's changed his whole look up. So,
he's like, I'm not going to play again. I'm going to get my degree now.
He's trying to get more sleek, cut them dreads off so he can try to run some pass patterns or something.
Nah. I got real job interviews now I got to go to. Yeah, this is real.
All right, so Super Tua, I feel as if he's going to come out there and do his thing. So, yeah, Louisville gets a pass the first game. I mean, Bobby Petrino, just Louisville fans go down and support, have fun in Orlando.
Yeah, it's Orlando.
Go see Mickey Mouse. You know what I'm
Disney
saying?
World.
Get ready, take your medicine for about 3 hours, and then enjoy the rest of the trip. Like, just use the Louisville game as a side dish. Don't use that as your main course. Use that as a side dish. Let Orlando be the steak.
Hey, but the thing is, though, you'll really get a chance to see some of these young guys will get a lot of experience playing a lot of top-line talent. So hopefully playing Alabama first will pay off at the end of the season. When these guys say, okay, we played Alabama, we played Clemson, some other guys, so now we got this. When the young guys step in, we played the best. We got some experience up. We know how this works. Let's make it happen.
Absolutely. I mean, that's what it's going to be about. So, guys like Jonathan Grenard, I liked what I saw from him in terms of his fire and his leadership. He's going to be a guy that's going to be asked to step up and do a lot this year. He already, he kind of became one of the vocal leaders. I remember after that Boston College game specifically.
Oh, he was upset.
He was very upset. He answered all the questions. And, it means a lot to him. So I would expect that he's probably going to be, kind of your Lorenzo Malden type of figure for this team coming up. So it's going to be on him to kind of say, fellas, it's time to circle the wagons. But it's going to be exciting. I can't wait for spring ball to get going, and we can kind of see what this edition of Louisville football is going to start to look like.
I'm excited. I'm excited to see what's going to happen. It's a new team, new quarterback. We're going to see guys run the ball we haven't really seen, but we saw Dave Williams. He did an excellent job last year. We saw Colin Wilson last year. We know what the wide receivers can do. We have a pretty good idea what Juwan Pass can do. So that's going to be interesting. Like I said, the defense is a big question mark, but I'm excited at the talent they have on defense. I'm excited to see what the coaching staff can do. I'm excited. I can't wait for April 14th on around, which is going to be Louisville spring game. April 14th, I think it's like the Wendy's something weekend, something other. But anyway, it's a spring game. That's all you need to know. I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see what this team can do. I went to the press release I got from U of L. They did not mention if they had any open practices this year. I know
Bobby
practice
needs
starts.
to quit that. Bobby, you need to quit that because you had all your practices closed last year.
It didn't help.
And Purdue went up and down the field on you like it was real easy. So, you know what? Open your practices up. Quit being all like that. Just open it up for the fans. My goodness
Here's the thing,
gracious.
spring practice.
You're going to have fall practice, man.
Here's the thing. Spring practice, open up a couple of spring practice games. I can see
Open
that.
them all up.
Fall practice, I understand.
Yeah, close it down for fall.
Fall
but
practice, understand.
Open up spring practice. Why not?
It's not going to hurt.
You're doing like basic football drills. Really?
Let's open it up. Anyway, once we find out what practice is going to be open, we will definitely let you guys know. So pay attention to maineventsports101.com.
That's right.
Like the YouTube site. Please subscribe to our channel. If you have any questions, concerns, if you have any questions about the Louisville football team, something you want to see, hey, please go ahead and please go down and leave a comment, and we'll answer you guys with the quickness. Hey, thanks for tuning in to the Main Event Sports Show here. And I also thank our super fan here, Wayne, for coming in, hanging out with us.
Eating our pizza,
having some beer
enjoying
here.
a nice cold lager.
Having a good time with us. Man, this show's gone by fast. But, hey, a lot's going on with Louisville football. Like I said, stay tuned to Main Event Sports. We'll let you know what's going on, the ins and the outs. And like to think about for tuning in, hey, like I said, hit subscribe so you can watch the videos as we post them up, because we don't post them up all the time. A lot. We got one about Louisville's basketball team, the NIT, women's basketball, the NCAA field as a whole. We got videos about the NFL, Major League Baseball, the whole nine. So, hey, stay tuned to Maven Sports Show because big things are coming up.